Ladies and gentlemen, let's get one thing clear: physical touch, when done right, is a language far more powerful than words. And in the world of attraction, a simple kiss placed at the right spot can make a woman feel something she'll never forget. I'm not just talking about passion. I'm talking about deep emotional desire, the kind that lingers in her mind long after you've said goodnight. Now, most men think kissing begins and ends with the lips, but that's where they're getting it all wrong. If you want to unlock a woman's full emotional and sensual response, you have to understand her body, respect her rhythm, and master the art of intimate attention. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 powerful places to kiss a woman that don't just excite her, they awaken her. These are the kisses that say, I see you, I crave you, and you're safe with me. So whether you're trying to deepen your connection or just give her an experience she'll replay in her head over and over again, lean in, because after this, she'll never forget how you made her feel. Kissing a woman on her neck is one of the most potent ways to make her feel deeply desired, and yet it's often misunderstood or underutilized by many men. The neck is a uniquely sensitive and vulnerable area of the body, rich with nerve endings that react intensely to even the lightest touch. This is not just about physical arousal, it's about emotional stimulation, chemistry, and a deep psychological signal that tells her she is being chosen, wanted, and appreciated. When a man takes the time to explore this area with care, intention, and patience, he communicates more than lust. He shows an intimate kind of attention that can make a woman melt, both physically and emotionally. The truth is, most women long to feel special, to be seduced slowly and deliberately. The neck, when kissed properly, becomes a portal into this very experience. It's about heightening the senses and speaking to a woman's femininity in a way that says, I want you not just sexually, but completely. The key to making a neck kiss unforgettable lies in how you approach it. It's not supposed to feel rushed or mechanical. It has to feel like you are savoring her. When a woman feels that you're taking your time, truly immersed in the moment, she feels adored. And adoration is what transforms a basic kiss into something that leaves a mark on her soul. Begin by establishing an emotional atmosphere, eye contact, soft touches, and a steady, calm energy that lets her know she is the center of your attention. Then, as you slowly approach her neck, let your lips barely graze her skin at first. This soft, teasing introduction is crucial. The light brush of your lips along her skin triggers anticipation, and anticipation is one of the most erotic feelings a woman can experience. It builds slowly, drawing her in, making her body crave more without even realizing it. As you progress, vary the pressure and pace. Sometimes press your lips firmly, other times barely touch her at all. Let your breath linger against her neck, warming her skin and giving her goosebumps. Soft kisses along the side of her neck, just below the ear, can drive a woman wild, not because of the physical sensation alone, but because of what it implies. This is an area that's usually reserved for someone who has earned her trust. When you kiss her here, you're entering a zone that feels private and personal, which automatically deepens the connection. If your breath is warm and your lips gentle, the intimacy is magnified. Add a few subtle whispers or a soft exhale into her ear while your lips explore her neck, and it sends a signal straight to her mind. This man sees her, this man wants her, and this man is not afraid to show it. But it's not just where you kiss her on the neck, it's how present you are when you do it. Women are extremely intuitive when it comes to sensing whether a man is performing or actually feeling. If your mind is racing or distracted, if you're thinking ahead to sex or rushing through the moment, she'll feel that, and it will instantly break the spell. On the other hand, if you are fully grounded in the moment, breathing slowly, feeling the softness of her skin, immersed in her scent and the texture of her body, she'll feel your focus. That focused presence makes her feel like she is the only woman in the world. That kind of focused attention, when paired with a kiss on such a tender spot, makes her feel desired in the deepest way. Another secret that amplifies the power of a neck kiss is unpredictability. Don't create a rhythm that's too obvious or repetitive. Instead, be spontaneous, kiss her slowly up the neck, then pause. Let your tongue trace a slow, soft line along the edge of her jaw, then stop. Just breathe her in. That pause is everything. It's the silence that screams. It builds suspense and lets her feel every beat of her racing heart. Then, when she's least expecting it, kiss her again, but maybe this time just a bit harder or lower toward the collarbone. That element of surprise keeps her guessing and opens up an emotional tension that fuels arousal like nothing else. The scent of a woman's neck is also a powerful trigger. It's where her natural fragrance mixes with any perfume she might be wearing, creating a scent that's uniquely hers. When you're close enough to kiss her neck, you're also close enough to breathe her in. And when you do this slowly and deliberately, it sends a clear signal of desire. Not the kind of superficial, quick gratification desire, but the deeper kind, the kind that says, "You intoxicate me." When a woman feels like a man is intoxicated by her, not just how she looks but how she smells, how she feels, that's when she begins to surrender emotionally. She doesn't just feel sexy, she feels deeply desired. There's also a primal evolutionary psychology at play when kissing the neck. The neck is a vulnerable area. It's where major arteries run close to the surface. It's a place where, biologically, trust is required to allow someone near it. When a woman allows you access to this space, she's letting you into her world of vulnerability. She is exposing a soft part of herself, both physically and metaphorically. If you treat that access with respect, if you kiss her neck like it's something precious, she will feel more emotionally connected to you. This is the kind of kiss that doesn't just make her want your body, it makes her want your presence, your energy, your attention. And that's far more powerful. In long-term relationships, kissing a woman's neck can also reignite passion and reaffirm emotional connection. So many couples forget the small things. They skip over the moments that used to send shivers down their spines. But a well-placed, slow, intentional kiss on the neck can bring back that fire. It can remind her that she's still wanted, not just out of habit, but with hunger and affection. It tells her that even after time has passed, her body still speaks to you. And when a woman feels that, especially in a world that constantly makes her question her beauty, her worth, her desirability, she becomes soft, open, and alive again in your presence. What separates a neck kiss that turns her on from one that deeply touches her heart is the energy behind it. Anyone can kiss a neck, but not everyone can make her feel something when they do. It's not about perfection. It's about presence, intention, and emotional connection. When you combine physical sensation with psychological stimulation, you create an experience that she will remember, crave, and fantasize about. She might not even be able to explain why, but every time she thinks about you, she'll feel a flutter. Because you didn't just kiss her, you saw her. The final layer of this experience is confidence. A man who kisses a woman's neck without hesitation, who owns the moment with calm, grounded energy, unlocks something ancient in her. It's not arrogance, and it's not aggression. It's a quiet assurance that says, "I know what I'm doing, and I know what you deserve." Women don't respond to uncertainty. They respond to intention. If you hesitate, she feels unsure. But if you approach with certainty and tenderness, she will follow your lead willingly. That confidence, paired with sensitivity, is what transforms a neck kiss from a physical gesture into an emotional signature. It leaves an imprint that no one else can copy because it came from you, not just your lips, but your energy, your awareness, your unique masculine presence. So when you kiss her neck, don't just think about turning her on. Think about how you're making her feel. Make it slow, make it sincere, make it about her, and in doing so, you'll not only unlock her physical desire, you'll awaken a craving for your presence that no man before you ever reached. That is the power of a kiss, when it's placed where it matters and delivered with purpose. Kissing a woman's inner wrist may seem subtle, even insignificant to the average man, but for a woman who is attuned to emotional depth and sensuality, this small gesture can speak volumes. The wrist is one of the most delicate and sensitive parts of the human body, and when approached with the right energy, a kiss there becomes far more than a physical act. It becomes a signal of reverence, intrigue, and erotic foreplay. Unlike more obvious zones like the lips or neck, the inner wrist is often overlooked, which is precisely why it holds such a powerful effect when it is kissed intentionally. It's unexpected, it's intimate, and it catches her completely off guard in the most captivating way. A kiss on the wrist doesn't scream lust, instead it whispers it, and sometimes a whisper can be far more seductive than a shout. When a man takes a woman's hand, holds it gently, and slowly brings it to his lips, targeting the soft, warm skin of her inner wrist, he is doing something that transcends surface-level attraction. He's communicating subtlety, restraint, and deliberate control. He's saying, without words, "I desire you, but I'm not rushing you." This kind of behavior plays into the psychological wiring of a woman's desire. Women are more mentally and emotionally stimulated than physically triggered at first. A slow, deliberate wrist kiss taps into her imagination. It makes her wonder what else you're capable of when you take your time. It makes her feel treasured, not just targeted. The delicate skin of her inner wrist is laced with pulse points that, when kissed or lightly breathed upon, send tingles up her arm and into her core. It's a warm sensation that feels tender, yet electric. There's also an old-world romantic charm in this kind of kiss that feels elegant and purposeful. In an era where most expressions of intimacy are rushed or casual, a wrist kiss feels refined, almost aristocratic. It shows that a man understands the value of anticipation. He isn't trying to conquer, he's trying to mesmerize. That moment of contact, when your lips meet the softness of her skin and linger just slightly, no rush, no agendas, ends a clear signal to her body and mind that she is being admired. And not in the way that most women are used to. This is not the admiration that comes from a wolf whistle or a lustful stare. This is admiration wrapped in intention, appreciation, and focus. A woman's inner wrist is also a place she rarely expects to be kissed, and that surprise element alone ignites something primal. Surprise is one of the strongest tools in emotional seduction. Most women expect kisses on the lips, maybe the neck, but very few anticipate a man going for her wrist. And when it's done with grace, it's short, it's her expectations in the best way possible. It's a moment she didn't see coming, and it makes her pause. She feels a little vulnerable, a little exposed, and a whole lot curious, and that curiosity is what draws her deeper into your energy. It plants a seed in her mind, and that seed grows into desire. It's not about being graphic or overt. It's about being deeply intentional with every small move you make. This kind of kiss is not just about what you do with your lips. It's about what you do with your presence. You need to be grounded, confident, and calm. If you rush it or act unsure, the magic fades instantly. But if you take her hand gently, look into her eyes with calm certainty, and guide her wrist toward your lips with poise, everything changes. She will feel it in her gut. This man is different. He's not trying to impress with tricks. He's impressing her with attention to detail. He's kissing a part of her body that most men ignore, and by doing so, he's making her feel seen in a completely different way. The wrist, after all, is symbolic of grace, delicacy, and vulnerability. When you kiss it gently, you show that you not only recognize these qualities in her, you honor them. What's even more interesting is that the inner wrist is often where a woman might dab her perfume. So when you kiss her there, you're also inhaling her scent in one of the most concentrated, intentional spots she chose. That does something powerful to her psyche. It's as if you're saying, I notice the details about you that others overlook. It sends a message to her subconscious that you are present and fully aware of her effort, her femininity, her sensual expression. And when a woman feels noticed on that level, beyond the obvious, it creates a magnetic pull. She doesn't just feel attractive, she feels understood. And for many women, understanding is far sexier than appearance alone. This type of kiss also works beautifully in both new romantic situations and long-term relationships. For a new connection, kissing the wrist can establish a deep emotional undertone from the very beginning. It tells her you're not just like everyone else. You're not chasing a quick win, you're exploring her. And for a woman who is used to being rushed or reduced to her physicality, this gesture stands out. She remembers it. She associates it with a man who makes her feel something different, something rare. In long-term relationships, the wrist kiss becomes a way to reconnect emotionally. After time has passed and routines have settled in, small gestures like this reignite the spark. They remind her that she's still someone worth pursuing, worth savoring, and worth admiring. It becomes a whisper in her ear that says, "You're still everything to me." Additionally, there's an inherent sensuality to the wrist that's deeply underrated. It's not overtly sexual, but it's loaded with erotic potential. When kissed properly, the wrist awakens a woman's body in subtle, slow-building waves. It doesn't scream, "Take me now." It says, "I want you to ache for it." That slow ache, that simmering anticipation, is the exact state that makes a woman feel deeply desired. It's not about instant gratification. It's about building an emotional and physical rhythm that makes her feel completely enveloped in your attention. You're not devouring her, you're cherishing her, and when she feels cherished, her barriers melt, her mind softens, and her heart opens. Even in public, a kiss on the wrist is a gesture that manages to be both respectful and erotic. It doesn't draw unwanted attention like a public count might, but it still creates a deeply private moment between you and her. She will feel the heat of your lips and the calmness of your touch, and the fact that you did it in a subtle, public way adds to the thrill. It's a reminder of what could happen when you're alone, a secret that passes silently between the two of you. These are the kinds of moments that women carry with them. Long after the kiss, long after the night ends, she'll replay that gentle moment in her mind and feel the same flutter in her chest. The beauty of kissing a woman's inner wrist is that it doesn't require bravado, lines, or performance. It requires awareness, presence, and a genuine desire to connect with her on a deeper level. It's a slow, elegant kind of seduction that feels both ancient and timeless. And the truth is, when done right, it creates a memory. Not just a physical sensation, but an emotional imprint. She'll remember how it made her feel. Elegant, wanted, feminine, and most importantly, chosen. That's what makes her crave you not just physically, but emotionally. And once a woman craves you on that level, everything about her response to you changes. You become more than just a man in her life. You become a man who understands her. So don't underestimate the power of a kiss on the wrist. It may seem like a small move, but it holds within it the capacity to unlock a woman's deepest sensual response. It's not about being bold, it's about being intentional. And when you kiss her there, with calm, deliberate energy, you give her a gift she didn't even know she needed. your focused, undivided desire. That's what leaves her thinking about you long after the moment has passed. That's what makes her feel deeply, undeniably desired. Kissing a woman's lower back is one of the most sensual and emotionally resonant gestures a man can offer, yet it is often ignored or misunderstood. It's not a mainstream zone like the lips, neck, or chest, but that's precisely what makes it so profoundly intimate and powerful. The lower back is a place of vulnerability, tenderness, and silent emotional craving. It rests right between strength and submission, sensuality and security, and when kissed with intention, it unlocks a hidden layer of connection that very few other gestures can match. A kiss in this spot communicates more than desire. It conveys protection, possession, emotional grounding, and an almost primal reverence for her feminine essence. When a man leans down, slows his energy, and kisses a woman there with deliberate care, he's not just stimulating her body. He's accessing her emotions through the most gentle but powerful route possible. The lower back is often exposed when a woman is most relaxed, lying face down, stretching, or undressing. It's an area that she doesn't usually think of as an erogenous zone, but when touched or kissed, it sends a signal through her nervous system that makes her pause and take notice. There's something about a man being behind her, bending low to kiss that space, that triggers a subconscious response rooted in trust and receptivity. This kiss doesn't come from direct eye contact or even spoken words. It comes from body language, from energy, from presence. And that kind of quiet presence is what makes a woman feel deeply desired in a way she rarely experiences. It's not just about arousal. It's about being wanted for her softness, her curves, her femininity, and her vulnerability. That single kiss, placed right in the center of her lower back, says, "You are safe here. You are mine. You are deeply, profoundly wanted." When kissing her lower back, the intention behind your movement is everything. You can't rush. You can't be mechanical. You need to slow your breathing, ground yourself in the moment, and focus entirely on her. Run your hands gently along the sides of her waist, letting your fingers trace the lines of her hips and spine. Then, without warning, lean in and press your lips gently into the small of her back. Let them linger there not just for a second, but long enough for her to feel the heat, the breath, the reverence in your touch. This moment isn't about performance or technique. It's about presence. When she feels your presence behind her, when she knows you're not in a rush to move on to the next part of her body, she begins to relax in the deepest way. Her mind slows, her heart opens, her body starts to yield to your energy, because what you're doing is making her feel seen, not just in the obvious places, but in the spaces most men overlook. There's a raw emotional message embedded in this kiss. It's as if you're saying, "I love every part of you, even the parts you don't flaunt." The lower back is often tied to a woman's feelings of posture, body confidence, and how she carries herself. To have a man lovingly kiss that area tells her that you're attracted not just to her sexual energy but to her totality, her spine, her skin, her presence. This is the kind of kiss that soothes a woman, that tells her she doesn't have to try so hard to be sexy. She already is exactly as she is, in her natural, unguarded state. And when a woman feels that kind of effortless attraction from a man, she softens. She leans into him. She gives more of herself because she trusts that he sees beyond the surface. Psychologically, the lower back represents grounding, support, and stability. It's literally the foundation that holds up the rest of the body. When a man kisses a woman in that spot, he's tapping into a symbolic message, one that says, "I'm here for you. I've got your back." In long-term relationships, this kind of gesture can rekindle a sense of safety and rootedness. It reminds her that she's not alone in the world, that her partner still cherishes her body and wants to take care of her emotionally and physically. In newer romantic dynamics, This kiss carries a sense of protective desire. It says, "I'm not just here for pleasure, I'm here for connection, for intimacy, for something that lives deeper than the surface." That kind of intention is rare, and when a woman senses it, her entire perception of you shifts. The physical response this kiss elicits is also worth noting. The skin at the base of the spine is sensitive, but in a less obvious way than erogenous zones like the inner thighs or chest. It responds to heat, breath, and pressure, sending subtle waves through the body that create a slow burn of arousal. Not the immediate aggressive kind, but the kind that builds over time, the kind that makes her body crave more of your touch, more of your mouth, more of your presence. When your lips meet, that space, especially if you follow a trail from her shoulders downward or from her thighs upward, it creates a rising intensity that makes her feel completely enveloped in your energy. She feels covered, cherished, explored, and claimed all at once. This kiss is especially powerful when paired with quiet moments, moments when the two of you are lying together, when words are few, and when your touch does all the speaking. Maybe she's lying on her stomach, reading or resting, and you simply pull down her shirt or lift it slightly and kiss her lower back slowly. No fanfare, no expectation, just a quiet moment of adoration. That gesture, more than anything, communicates emotional depth. It tells her that you don't need sex to express desire, that you can be turned on by the simple act of being close to her. And that depth of nonverbal communication is what creates emotional addiction in a woman's heart. She begins to crave you, not just your hands or your body, but your energy, your presence, your ability to make her feel like the only woman in the room. There's also an artistic beauty to this kiss. The lower back, especially when accentuated by curves, has a natural grace to it. It's a silent invitation, a space that calls for attention, but only from someone who understands nuance and patience. It's not a place to attack, it's a place to honor, and when you approach it that way, it becomes something sacred. You're not just arousing her, you're worshipping her, and every woman, no matter how confident or insecure, responds to that level of worship. Not the kind that inflates her ego, but the kind that touches her soul. Even after the moment passes, the memory of that kiss lingers. It creates a warmth in her core that radiates throughout her day. She might not even be able to articulate why it affected her so deeply. But it did, because you gave attention to a part of her that others overlook. You slowed down, you didn't just take. You gave, you didn't rush, you appreciated. That kiss tells her that you're a man who can be trusted with the more delicate parts of her. Not just her body, but her feelings, her fears, her hopes. And that is the kind of man she will long for, think about and dream of, long after your lips have left her skin. So, if you want to make a woman feel deeply desired, don't overlook her lower back. Approach it with reverence, kiss it like it's something rare, something worth savoring. Do it when she least expects it, and do it without needing anything in return. Let that kiss be the language through which you tell her she is beautiful, safe, and deeply, endlessly wanted. And in that moment, she won't just feel touched, she'll feel transformed. Kissing a woman on her thighs is one of the most emotionally powerful and physically electric gestures a man can make. It's not just about sexuality, it's about emotional intimacy, vulnerability, and a deep level of desire that goes beyond the surface. The thighs are often considered a gateway, not only to physical closeness, but to emotional connection as well. They represent trust, surrender, and sacredness. When you kiss a woman on her thighs with presence, patience, and genuine intention, you are telling her something that words cannot express, that you want her in the most respectful, appreciative, and unhurried way possible. This kind of kiss makes her feel craved, not just in a lustful way, but in a way that honors her feminine energy. It makes her feel like every inch of her body matters, not just the parts society has sexualized, but the places she's often shy about, self-conscious of, or unsure whether anyone would care to notice. When you kiss her thighs, you're saying, "I want to know all of you." The psychological impact of kissing her thighs is profound. A woman's mind is one of her most powerful erogenous zones, and when you slowly descend down her body and take your time kissing her thighs, you are building anticipation that starts in her brain. Anticipation is the bridge between attraction and arousal. It makes her imagination run wild. She begins to wonder what you'll do next, how long you'll stay there, how deeply you're paying attention to her body. And when she feels that anticipation paired with gentleness and care, she melts. She begins to trust you more with her body and her heart because your actions are showing restraint, control, and reverence. You're not just racing towards sex, you're showing her that her pleasure, her presence, and her energy matter to you. There is something inherently respectful and passionate about kissing a woman's thighs. These are not typically the first places a man goes to. Most men skip over them in a rush to reach more obviously arousing zones. But when you pause at her thighs, when you kneel or lower yourself to her level and let your lips gently explore the inner and outer softness of her legs, you're demonstrating that her entire body deserves attention. And for many women, this is deeply emotional. It tells her that she doesn't have to perform to be loved. She doesn't have to be perfect to be cherished. She doesn't have to hide the parts of herself that she may be insecure about. You see her, you want her, and you're showing her with your lips, not just with your words. The inner thighs in particular are an extremely sensitive area, rich in nerve endings and directly connected to arousal pathways. But beyond that, they are also a symbol of emotional proximity. This is a place that's incredibly close to her core, to her center, and it's a zone she doesn't let everyone near. When you kiss her inner thighs, you are getting close to the most protected part of her, both physically and emotionally, and how you handle that moment tells her everything she needs to know about your character. If you're tender, patient, and deliberate, she feels respected. If you're aggressive, hurried, or mechanical, she feels objectified. The difference between making her feel deeply desired versus just wanted lies in your ability to be fully present. It's in the way your hands support her legs, the way your breath grazes her skin before your lips even touch her, the way your eyes look up at her as if she is the only woman in the world. Kissing her thighs is not just about the physical contact, it's about rhythm and energy. You have to take your time, you have to listen to her breath, feel the way her body reacts, sense when to be soft and when to apply just a bit more pressure. Start with the outer thighs, placing soft, lingering kisses that allow her to relax into the sensation. Let your hands stroke her legs gently as you move closer toward the inner part, and don't go straight to the center, that kills the bill. Instead, dance around it, make her ache for more. Let your lips hover, kiss slowly up one thigh and then down the other. Whisper something soft, or simply let your breath stay close to her skin. The warmth of your breath mixed with the anticipation of your next kiss will drive her wild, in the most beautiful, emotional way. What most men don't realize is that this area holds emotional memory. A woman who's been objectified or rushed in the past may carry shame or resistance in this space, but when you approach her thighs like they are something precious, something worth savoring, you help her rewrite that narrative. You help her feel celebrated, not just accepted. It's like you're telling her, you don't have to rush. I'm not here just for the end result. I'm here for the journey, every part of it, every part of you. That level of emotional reassurance is what breaks down walls. That's when she begins to surrender. That's when her body truly opens to you, not just physically, but spiritually. This kind of kissing also builds a kind of intimacy that lingers far beyond the moment. Later, when she's alone, when she's replaying that experience in her mind, it's not just the physical pleasure she'll remember. It's the feeling of being completely wanted without pressure. It's the tenderness in your touch, the reverence in your kiss, the way you made her feel like the most beautiful woman you had ever seen. That is what creates lasting emotional impact. That is what makes her crave your presence, not just for what you do to her body, but for what you do to her soul. She begins to associate you with safety, desire, softness, and power all at once, and that is an irresistible combination. There's also a primal power dynamic that exists when you kiss her thighs. You are positioning yourself lower than her, not in weakness, but in reverence. You are putting yourself in a space of devotion, of attentiveness, of surrendering your ego to fully focus on her. This reversal of roles, where the man gives instead of taking, where he explores instead of conquering, is what creates true emotional magnetism. She sees you not as a man who wants to dominate her body, but as one who wants to honor it. That energy, when communicated through your actions, creates a kind of trust and surrender that most men never get to experience because they're too focused on the destination. But you made the journey the whole point. You made her feel like her body was a temple, and that every part of it was worth admiring, every kiss a form of praise. Even in moments outside the bedroom, the memory of your lips on her thighs will return to her. When she sits down and her dress brushes her skin, when she changes clothes and catches a glimpse of herself in the mirror, when she lies in bed thinking of how you looked at her, touched her, worshipped her, those feelings will wash over her again. You've embedded your presence into her memory, not through words or promises, but through how you made her feel, desired, beautiful, worthy of being adored in ways she didn't even know she craved. So when you kiss her thighs, don't rush. Don't make it a stepping stone toward sex. Make it the moment itself. Make it a ritual of connection, of reverence, of worship. Let her feel that your lips are not just kissing her skin. They are speaking to her heart, her insecurities, her hidden desires. Let her know through every kiss that she is safe, seen, and absolutely desired in a way that goes far beyond physical attraction. Because when you kiss a woman's thighs with that level of care, you're not just making her feel aroused, you're making her feel chosen. And that, more than anything, is what she will never forget. Kissing a woman on her forehead is one of the most overlooked yet emotionally powerful gestures a man can make. It may not seem as overtly passionate or sexually charged as kissing her lips or neck, but it carries a depth that touches a woman's heart in a way nothing else can. The forehead is not a traditionally sensual spot, which is precisely why a kiss there holds such incredible significance. It conveys care, safety, deep affection, and emotional intimacy. When a man kisses a woman on her forehead, he is telling her something words often fail to capture. I see you, I value you, and I want to protect you. It's a gesture of reassurance, of emotional grounding, and of profound connection. And for many women, especially those who have experienced being desired only for their bodies, a forehead kiss is a powerful reminder that they are cherished for much more. This simple act sends an incredibly nuanced message. It communicates non-sexual intimacy, which paradoxically makes it incredibly seductive. It's not about taking or getting something in return, it's about giving. Giving presence, giving comfort, giving a piece of your emotional availability. In a world where women are often touched with expectation, where physical closeness is frequently tied to sexual motives, a forehead kiss stands out because it asks for nothing. It's soft, it's gentle, it's safe, and safety for many women is the doorway to deep emotional and even physical surrender. When she feels emotionally safe with you, her defenses drop and she becomes more open, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The emotional context behind a forehead kiss is what makes it unforgettable. It usually happens in quiet, tender moments, when you're lying together in bed, when she's tired or anxious, when you're saying goodbye or reuniting after time apart. It's not showy or performative. It's private, sacred, and that sacredness is exactly what makes it land so powerfully in a woman's heart. It tells her that you are tuned into her emotional state, that you're not just looking at her body, you're feeling her energy. You're close enough to understand when she needs comfort, not just passion. And when a woman realizes that a man can read her that deeply, it ignites something rare. She feels understood. And for women, feeling understood is what leads to emotional attachment and lasting attraction. There's also an element of reverence in this type of kiss. A man who kisses a woman on her forehead is not rushing, not driven by impulse, not trying to seduce. He is still, present, connected. He is saying, "You matter to me," without needing to say anything at all. That kind of silent respect is deeply arousing in its own way, not in the loud, urgent way of lust, but in the quiet, enduring way of devotion. And devotion is something women crave on a soul level. It's rare, it's precious, and when they feel it, they remember it forever. A forehead kiss makes her feel like she's not just beautiful, she's treasured. This gesture also taps into something deeply psychological and even spiritual. The forehead is located at the space of the third eye, in many spiritual traditions, a symbol of intuition, insight, and emotional clarity. When you kiss a woman there, you're connecting with the part of her that longs to be seen beyond the physical. You're touching the part of her that wants to be known, really known, for who she is beneath the surface. And when she feels that level of awareness from you, she begins to associate you with emotional safety and depth. She stops questioning your intentions. She begins to trust. She feels that you're not just there for pleasure, you're there for her. All of her. In romantic relationships, a forehead kiss can also be a deeply grounding force. During moments of stress, sadness, or confusion, that one small gesture can restore a woman's emotional balance. It acts as a calming signal, like saying, "I'm here, you're not alone, you're loved." And the more consistently a man shows up in that way, the more emotionally connected the woman becomes. It's not about big, dramatic displays of love. It's about the tiny, consistent acts of care that build trust over time. A forehead kiss is one of those acts. It says, "You don't need to say anything, I already understand." And when a woman feels understood without having to explain herself, her walls begin to crumble. Another reason this kiss is so powerful is because it's a kind of emotional foreplay. It softens the atmosphere, opens her heart, and makes her feel emotionally held. And that emotional arousal, when she feels like her soul is being touched, often translates into physical desire. She begins to feel close to you on multiple levels, not just as a partner or lover, but as someone who touches the deepest parts of her being. That multi-layered attraction is what makes the forehead kiss a secret weapon. It's the kiss that creates an emotional memory. She might forget the exact words you said on a date or what you wore, but she will never forget the moment you kissed her forehead when she felt fragile or loved or simply seen. Even outside of romantic relationships, the forehead kiss has deep meaning. It's the kind of gesture that shows maturity, emotional intelligence, and strength. It's what a man does when he knows he doesn't have to use grand gestures or sexual energy to connect. He knows the power of subtlety, of emotion, of energy, and that calm power where you don't need to chase or impress makes you incredibly attractive. Women are drawn to men who can lead with gentleness because gentleness requires control, confidence, and a high level of emotional awareness. A forehead kiss is the physical expression of that gentleness. It's saying, "I'm strong enough to be soft with you." In moments of intimacy, whether right before falling asleep or after making love, a forehead kiss seals the connection. It grounds the physical experience in something deeper. It transforms what could be a fleeting act into something that feels like love. Even if the words haven't been said yet, the kiss implies it. It's not just about "I want you." It's about "I care about you. I'm grateful for you. I respect you." Those are the feelings that make a woman feel secure in her connection with you. And when she feels secure, she gives herself more fully, not just with her body, but with her time, her affection, her loyalty. The power of this kiss also lies in its consistency. The more often you do it, not just in romantic moments, but when she's upset, tired, laughing, or even just walking past you, the more deeply she internalizes your love. It becomes a language between you two, a language of safety, a kiss on the forehead before work, a kiss on the forehead while she's doing something stressful, a kiss on the forehead when she's quiet and you don't know what to say. These small acts compound into something deeply meaningful. Over time, she will come to associate your presence with peace, and that kind of emotional association is what turns attraction into devotion. So while it may seem small, kissing a woman on her forehead is anything but insignificant. It is the quiet kiss of kings. It doesn't shout for attention, but it leaves an unforgettable impression. It's not flashy, but it lingers. It touches parts of her heart that other kisses simply can't reach. When done with sincerity, intention, and presence, it becomes one of the most powerful expressions of love, protection, and reverence a man can give. It shows her that she is not just seen, not just touched, but cherished. And when a woman feels cherished, she gives back in ways that are tender, fierce, and endlessly loyal, because she knows she has found something rare. And she'll hold on to that forehead kiss, and the man who gave it, forever. Kissing a woman behind her knee is an unexpectedly intimate and deeply erotic gesture that can ignite desire in ways most men completely overlook. While this area is rarely touched or acknowledged in everyday affection, it holds immense sensual potential because it is both a physically sensitive and psychologically vulnerable spot. What makes it so powerful isn't just its physical sensitivity, but the element of surprise and intention behind the act. It's a place that doesn't get regular attention, so when a man deliberately kisses a woman there, it creates a moment of intense focus, intrigue, and emotional vulnerability. It tells her you're not just going through the motions, you're exploring her with intention, care, and a deep curiosity that makes her feel profoundly desired. And that kind of mindful, focused attention is something that leaves a lasting emotional impact. The area behind the knee, the popliteal fossa, is filled with nerve endings and sensitive skin, making it a highly responsive spot when stimulated. But more than just being physically reactive, it taps into a layer of psychological arousal that's rooted in being seen and explored in places others neglect. Most people focus on the obvious zones: lips, breasts, thighs, neck. But when a man bypasses those for a moment and goes for something hidden, something less expected, it tells her that he's not following a script, he's creating a moment with her. It sends a message that he is taking his time, that he is savoring every inch of her, that he wants to discover what truly makes her melt. That energy of genuine interest is seductive in a way that feels both exhilarating and safe. The moment a man kneels down, moves gently, and places a kiss behind her knee, whether in bed or in a more spontaneous setting, he is engaging in a form of physical poetry. It's a tender invasion of a private space. She doesn't expect it, which heightens the emotional and sensory response. The surprise of it alone is often enough to send shivers down her spine, and because it's such a rarely touched area, it becomes more intimate than even more traditionally erotic zones. This is where the magic of contrast comes in. The softness of the kiss against the hidden warmth of that area creates a sensory experience that feels both gentle and deeply provocative. It's not just the kiss that excites her. It's the feeling that this man is paying attention to parts of her body and, by extension, parts of her soul that others have ignored. For a woman, feeling deeply desired isn't just about lust. It's about attention, detail, and emotional connection. When a man kisses her behind the knee, he is signaling that he's not rushing to the goal. He's immersed in the journey. He's treating her body like a landscape to be explored, not a destination to conquer. And that sense of being explored with reverence can unlock powerful feelings of trust and surrender. She starts to feel like she can let go because she's in the hands of someone who sees her fully, someone who desires her in a way that is both physical and deeply personal. And that combination of surprise, attention, and emotional security is often what causes a woman to become emotionally and sexually bonded to a man. There's also something primal and slightly submissive about this gesture, and that's not a bad thing. When a man lowers himself and kisses a woman in such an unusual and private place, it expresses a form of devotion and humility, not in a weak or desperate way, but in a strong, confident way that says, "I worship you." That kind of energy stirs something deep in a woman's emotional and biological wiring. She feels chosen, valued, and honored. It's not about power games, it's about reverence. It tells her that she is not just another body, but a unique expression of femininity worth discovering down to the last detail. It's as if he's saying, "You are so captivating that even the hidden places of your body deserve my affection." That statement, unspoken but felt, creates a moment that's impossible to forget. The knee kiss is also powerful because of the context in which it usually happens. It's not a casual kiss. It tends to occur in moments of deep connection, maybe while undressing her slowly, maybe while massaging her legs after a long day, or even during an intimate moment where every part of her is being kissed and adored. It's not rushed, it's placed with intention, and the slower and more mindful the kiss, the more impact it has. If you hold the back of her knee gently in your hands and pause for a second before kissing it, the anticipation alone can drive her wild. The moment is charged with energy, not just sexual energy, but emotional energy. She knows this kiss is not accidental, it's deliberate. That deliberate act tells her, "I'm here with you. I'm paying attention to every reaction, every breath, every shiver." This kiss can also be deeply disarming for women who are used to men moving quickly or focusing only on their more obvious sexual features. When you kiss her behind the knee, you're essentially telling her that she doesn't need to perform for your attention, that you're already intoxicated by her very existence. And that level of non-demanding desire is incredibly freeing. It allows her to be vulnerable, to stop thinking, to stop worrying about how she looks or what she should be doing. It allows her to just feel, and once she enters that emotional space where she feels safe, desired, and completely present, the depth of connection you create becomes unshakable. What amplifies the power of this kiss even more is the element of rarity. Think about it. How many men has she been with who even thought to kiss her behind the knee? Probably none, or very few. So when you do it, you instantly stand out. You create a memory that she attaches uniquely to you. It becomes a signature. Kiss something she'll think about when you're not around. It will come to her in moments of reflection, of longing, and especially when she's comparing you to other men. Because it's not just the kiss, it's what the kiss represented. Presence, exploration, devotion, confidence, awareness, the rare combination of emotional depth and sensual boldness. For couples who have been together for a long time, reintroducing this kind of kiss can reignite a sense of wonder and intimacy. It takes things out of routine and back into romance. It reminds her that you still see her as someone worth discovering, not just a partner, but a mystery, a masterpiece. That kind of energy can breathe life back into a relationship that's lost its spark. It shows her that you're still invested, still curious, still enamored by her. And for a woman, feeling continuously desired by the man she loves is one of the most important components of lasting passion. Ultimately, kissing a woman behind her knee isn't just about stimulation, it's about storytelling. You're telling her a story with your lips, a story that says, I want all of you. A story that says, your whole body deserves my love, not just the obvious parts. A story that whispers, you are a goddess, and I intend to worship you slowly. And trust me, when you tell a woman that story through touch, through presence, and through intention, you awaken something in her that can't be faked or forced, it can only be felt. And once she feels that, she will crave not just your touch, but your presence, your energy, your soul. So the next time you're with a woman and the moment feels right, slow down, take your time, and don't just kiss her where everyone else would. Bend your head, hold her with intention, and kiss her behind the knee. Watch her breathing change, watch the look in her eyes, watch her melt, because in that one kiss, you will have said everything she's been longing to hear without saying a single word. In the end, understanding how to kiss a woman in ways that make her feel deeply desired is not about technique alone, it's about intention, presence, and emotional connection. The 5 places we've explored: her neck, inner wrist, lower back, thighs, forehead, and even the often ignored area behind her knee are more than just erogenous zones. They are gateways to emotional intimacy and trust. When you choose to kiss her in these places, you're telling her something powerful without ever speaking, that you see her, that you're captivated by every part of her, and that your desire is rooted in genuine affection, not just lust. Most men focus on the obvious, the predictable, but the man who knows how to explore a woman's body with reverence and curiosity stands out in her heart and mind. So don't rush, don't perform. Instead, slow down and kiss her like she's art, because when a woman feels deeply seen, deeply wanted, and fully cherished, she opens herself to you in every way imaginable. That's when the physical becomes unforgettable and the emotional becomes unbreakable. That's how you make her feel truly, deeply desired.